Hi, I'm Jeff Ludy, the window expert, and today I've got Jeremy Devereaux with me. Jeremy is our Chief Production Officer, which means he oversees all the installation crews and all the projects that we do, about 20,000 windows a year. And we're actually in League City today, which is the south part of Houston, and this is a windstorm project. And today's focus is about how to install a window in a windstorm environment. There's a lot of similarities, right, Jeremy, to a regular window, but there are some differences.
Yes, there is.
So one of the main things is how to get a window out. People say, how do I take a window out? But before you know how to take a window out, you have to know how to measure a window. So instead of taking time on today's video to explain that to you, we're going to put a link down below in the description for how to measure a window, and then another one where we talk about the entire installation process, about how to pull out an existing window, put in a new window, and you'll see all of the details there. But today we're focusing primarily on windstorm and what makes that different. So Jeremy, now that this window's out, we're going to do some other things to it, like we're going to flash it, and we're going to anchor it down, and we're going to put trim on it. We're going to go through those steps. But now that you got this out, can you explain to me, like, what makes the main difference between a windstorm window and a non-windstorm window as far as where and how you install it?
Yes, I can. So the first thing is, so if you look right here, this is actually a 1x4. It was added before the old window was installed. And when you tear this window out, normally that's what is screwed to right there. And it's fine, it's strong, but for windstorm, the engineers have required that you actually screw to the framing member.
Okay, wait, I gotta stop you there, because I think I get it, but I wanna make sure we get it. So you have studs in here,
right.
2x4s, or in some homes it could be a 2x6.
Right.
But then you're saying that what they do is they still put a 1x4 flat board right here, right, on normal home construction. And when we take our window out, in many cases, we just screw back onto that. But in this case, we don't want to hit the 1x4, we want to hit the 2x4 or the 2x6.
Correct.
And that's sitting further back.
That's sitting farther in.
Okay,
that's
so
right.
So now if we put our window in right here, up to where the sheetrock used to be, you're not going to be able to screw in. I mean, some people, I guess, would try to toe angle that into that, but the engineer is going to say no to that, right?
Yeah, you won't get enough of the screw into the framing member. It has to go in a certain amount. Okay,
so then what is it we're doing here? Explain how you've cut this back.
So we call this a sheetrock cutback. This is where the sheetrock was. So the window would be here, screw into that normally. But we need to screw into this stud. So we measure how far in we need to go, and then we cut back all the way around the window so that the window sits deeper into the house so that we can screw into and anchor into the framing member.
So you did the same thing down here to this windowsill as well,
yes.
right? The wooden windowsill. Okay, so one of the things that you should be aware of if you're getting a windstorm window is it's going to have to sit in further in most applications, which means you're going to have some other things to consider. One is you have a shorter window stool here,
right.
A windowsill. So if you have a cat, a big fat cat that likes to lay up there, right? He may not fit anymore.
Right.
Okay, and then also, what about like the blinds, Jeremy? How does that affect that?
So on this house, it won't affect it, thank goodness. You can actually see where the blind bracket was, so there's still plenty of room.
Okay.
But when we come out to measure, we look for that, and we show the homeowners that you're losing some room here. You actually may have to change to a different blind. You may have to go to a 1-inch or something different.
Right.
Depending on the house.
Depending on the house. But that's something that we identify when we come
yes.
out and do our technical measurements, so you
right.
can know as a homeowner what to expect when that happens. And in some cases, even just bumping it in, what, a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch means you get to keep your blinds, but they
right.
don't sit where they used to sit before
exactly.
we did that, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So people ask the question all the time, well then, why do I even need a windstorm window? Because I'm looking at a window and it looks similar to all the other windows I see in my neighborhood. And the main reason for that is because the Texas Department of Insurance, every time we have a hurricane or a storm, right, they tell us that the wind damage is not really what does most of the dollar damage. What happens is when the window fails and water gets into a house, and now you have water everywhere, it's the water damage that really costs so much more money than the exterior wind damage. So they want the windows to be beefier, stronger. They want them to stay intact and stay in place even when something hits the window. So flying debris, for example, patio furniture, knocking out a window now means that the opening's been compromised and water can come in. But they also have some requirements for what's called DP, design pressure. And I've got a great video talking about wind debris and design pressure. We'll put a note of that for you down below in the link here. But one of the things that you have to look at is the distance between the corner of the house and a window. So for example, that window must be what, Jeremy? Is that 10 feet away from the corner?
Yeah, easy. 10
At least,
feet.
okay. But this window, let's see this window. Here's the corner, and if you notice, this is less than 4 feet away from the corner. So they tell us that windows that are less than 4 feet from a corner actually have to have a higher design pressure rating than windows that are not. And also, depending on how high your roof is, actually have to measure the roof line to determine what load you have on that. So there's much more to it than I'm just going to go to Home Depot or I'm just going to call a window company. I just want a window, because if you buy a window that does not pass the test, guess what? You pull out your old windows, you spent money putting in a new window, and it doesn't even meet the testing.
Right.
So the engineer will what? Come by at some point today.
The engineer comes by, he looks at the stickers, the DP ratings, to
Okay.
make sure the product, number one, passes.
Right.
And then he looks at our installation.
Right, and it has to be on the Texas Department of Insurance approved list, or it has to be signed off by an engineer that it meets the same structural requirements designed by the Texas State of Insurance.
Right.
So what happens here once the window goes in? Tell me about screws, because I think we have to use a different amount of screws as well, correct?
Yeah, most window manufacturers, we never use their screws, but they send us these little number 6s or number 8s
Okay.
that thick.
Yeah.
Windstorm has to be number 10s, which is a thicker screw.
Okay.
And it has to be enough to where it goes into that
the
framing
framing?
member,
Okay.
I think like 1.5 inches deep.
Okay, right.
So we use 3-inch screws because
Yeah,
we
it
don't want to
doesn't
take a chance, right? So we use number 10 3-inch screws.
Okay.
And then every manufacturer has a list of instructions
Okay.
on the site that says what's been required to install it.
Okay, so they'll do testing
They do.
with the screws at certain positions, and that's what passes. And then we need to, in the home, follow those instructions. If they say minimum every 12 inches, then you have to have one every 12 inches. Or some windows, depends on where they need to be, like on the coast. Sometimes it's even closer than that, right? 6 inches, 8 inches?
It could be, depending on the product.
Depending on the product and the testing that they went
Right.
in the laboratory. Okay,
Right.
so in this case too, if I remember right, most windows, you're not going to put screws in the bottom of a typical window,
Correct.
right?
That's right.
But don't you have to on Windstorm windows, or is that always the case?
So only on storm breakers
Okay,
that are, and that's
right on the
right
coast.
on the coast.
Okay.
Right on the coast.
Right.
But that window has holes already drilled through the bottom, so you have to use special silicone and,
Okay.
and rubber washers.
Okay.
We don't have to do that here.
Okay.
And I like that because I don't like putting screws in the bottom of the window.
Anytime you put a screw in the bottom of the window, there's always a chance that you might have a leak later.
That's right.
Using the right sealants and following the instructions, of course, reduces that risk considerably.
Right.
Okay, so other than that, the installation is pretty much basically the same, except for we have to sometimes account for the depth of the window, how that might affect the brick exposure. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so a normal window right now is usually in the neighborhood of 2.5 inches deep. And I mean
The ones we're pulling out.
this way, yes.
Okay.
This way.
Okay.
If you go back with a 2.5 and you have to move it in 1 inch,
Oh,
then,
yeah.
then you're going to have a gap between your brick and your window.
Oh, I got you.
So we have special trim that we use to build a jam extension on the outside.
To bring that out, right.
And we'll show you that in a minute. But this window happens to be 3.25.
Okay.
So it's going to be close in some
Okay.
spots if we even need to use it or not.
Okay, so let's take a look at that real quick. Let's hold the tape up there, see if we can get a measurement. So this is where we're going to be on our cutback, right?
Correct.
And you're saying we're going to be at 3.25
Yes. So
on this window.
So our window will come to there. So
Okay.
on this one, so far, it looks like it's in pretty good shape
We're not going to have any spots where we need to put trim up.
on this window.
Okay.
But the brick guy does something different. So he actually turned these bricks sideways, so they're
Okay.
a little deeper.
I see.
If he ran it this way into the window, there's a great chance that it only goes about this far, and we're going to have to do something. We're always prepared to do it because we never know until we tear out and cut back to get to our framing.
And that's why in
window.
our trailers we carry all the equipment we need for this, because each job might have a little bit of different. And you can't, when you come to measure, you can't see that, right? I mean, the window has to come out.
Yeah, because we need to know where the stud is for sure. Because sometimes there's a couple layers of sheathing and the 1x4, so
Okay.
we have to go deep enough to hit that frame.
So once we prep the opening, then we're going to put our flashing on it to make sure it's waterproof. Let's walk over there and let's take a look at that.
Perfect.
together.
Let's do it.
All right, so we came around the corner to a window that has been pulled out and also flashed. Jeremy, here's our flashing system that we put in. Now, no one does this that I know of, right? As far as I know, we're the only company that even does this.
As far as I know, we are.
Okay, and we have a full-length video on the flashing system, and we'll put it down below, but kind of briefly describe why we do this.
So sometimes windows water gets behind the brick from roof, from whatever reason,
Okay.
and the water will come down here and sit on top of the window.
Okay.
It didn't leak before because it had a nail flange. Well, we've designed this so the water will come down and stay inside this pocket and go down here and stay outside in the drainage plane and then come out of the weep hole down here.
Okay, so that's called the drainage plane, and the house when it was built had sheathing, or it had Tyvek, or it had something that helped make that water come around the window if there was ever any
Right.
water behind this facade of brick, and down and then come out here. But you're saying now that we've interrupted that by taking out the whole window frame, there's a chance that water could get behind there. And most people do what? They just put caulking on the window and move on.
Yeah, they put the window in first, and then they just caulk the inside and outside. And they never know there's a leak. It'll sit there and rot out their framing and just rot and get mold all in that wall, and they never know it for a lot of years.
Okay, that's not good. So then once this is in, then what you're going to do is take this sealant and you're going to apply it all the way around this perimeter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we do that. We put it all in here. That way when the window goes in, it presses against it and gives us our first seal.
So I like to think of a s'more. Have you ever had 2 graham cracker crusts with marshmallow in the middle? When you do that, it kind of oozes out of the side. So we'll put the sealant in, that's our marshmallow. Then the window's gonna press against the sheetrock basically on the
Right.
other side. And between those, now we have a good seal.
Exactly.
And any water that may find its way back there now has a natural drainage plane again to be able to go down and back out instead of going into the house. And sometimes you could have that happen and you not even know it. You could have mold and mildew and you wonder why your kids have blood coming out of their ears and, right?
Yes.
That's always a possibility. Okay, so once that's done, then the window goes in and we use those screws like we talked about. And then you talked about how we may have to cover up some ugly spots
Right.
where it didn't. And then we have a window right here next to us
Right.
here. Let's talk about that, Jeremy. Here's your trim
So-
piece we were talking about.
Because it's Windstorm and we had to move it in so that we can screw into the framing member, it's doing exactly what we thought it could. So what we do here is we bring this, it's a composite PVC material that's very
Right.
similar to the window, and we'll foam this, and then we'll put our sealant in here and we'll push it right there, and that
Okay.
covers all that. And we don't always keep it this wide.
Depends on
Sometimes we'll
what the
rip
house
it down
needs, yeah.
just to make it look nice and uniform. But whatever we have to do here, we'll do the same on all these. So
Right,
that they
so
all look
if
the
this
same.
one says I need an inch of material, even if that one needs a ½ inch, we're still going to use the full 1 inch because we want consistency in the
Exactly.
appearance. So it's not just that it looks good, but actually that it works good
Right.
as well, right? I like to hear that saying that somebody says, I don't remember who it was, they said that there's quality you can see and then there's quality you can't see. And what we're trying to do here is do both.
Right.
Do both. Jeremy, how many windows do you think you've installed in your lifetime?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
You've been doing this 25 years?
31 years.
31 years?
Yep.
I'd say maybe, would it shock you if somebody said, oh, Jeremy, you've installed 500,000 windows?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, every day for that many years.
And the longer you do it, and it's all we do, right? Windows
That's
and
all we
doors,
do.
it makes you really good at what you do. Hey, so if you live in the Houston area, especially if you live in a windstorm area, which is 14 coastal counties and parts of Harris County, I would love to talk to you about your window project. We have specialists that deal just in windstorm window projects, and so we'd love to visit with you about that. You can go by our showroom and take a look. If you don't live in this area, then please, by all means, check out jeffslist.com, where we have a list of great window companies all over the country. Hey, if this has been helpful to you, we'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe, give it a like, a little thumbs up would go a long way. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. We'll talk to you again real soon.